There is a public freakout type video that has been going viral for about a week now that I finally today decided to see what all the hype was about. And it turns out that new evidence has just come out that suggests that people have been angry at the wrong person in this video. And I want to talk about the all too common phenomenon of people jumping to conclusions about something that fits their own narrative when they don't have the whole story and therefore don't understand the context of it. Because this unfortunately happens a lot today and it ruins lives. Okay, so first let's talk about this viral video. The video was taken 9 days ago on May 12th just outside of a hospital in New York City. The short video shows a lady that has been dubbed Bike Karen and a young man that are both struggling over a bicycle. Bike Karen's real name is Sarah, and I'm just going to refer to her as that because she doesn't deserve to be called a Karen, or at least what it seems like now, and I'll get more into that later. Now, it's worth mentioning that Sarah is white and this young man is black. This is a detail that is not really relevant in the video, but it's relevant to the reaction that the video got. That, again, I'll get into more later. So, all right, Sarah and this young man, they both have their hands on this bike. They're both kind of fighting over it. Sarah calls for help multiple times in this video. She says, "Help me, please help." She says, "Get off me, dude," when the young man kind of reaches over her to grab the handlebars. At one point, she says, "Oh, you're pressing on my fetus," when he's kind of pressing up against her stomach. And at one point, she even breaks down and she starts to cry. It is also worth mentioning that she's in a hospital uniform outside of this hospital, so just from that, it's sort of safe to assume that she works at this hospital. I'm assuming she just got off of like a 12-hour shift. And in addition to the man that she is struggling with, she's got like 9 or 10 people around them filming her, and most seem to be like against her, sort of, I guess, harassing her during this. Like one person says that, "Oh, you're fake crying." And so that is basically the situation that's going on in the video. Like I said, it's like a minute or less than a minute. It's really just those two struggling over the bike. And that is about all that happens in the video. So this was posted online. Overall, I'd say without knowing anything other than the video, well, the video itself really just shows a struggle ensuing over a bike, and two people are just kind of struggling over it, and that's basically it. So no conclusions can really be made from the video, especially about like who was in the right and who was in the wrong. And that is exactly how the internet felt about it. Everyone on Twitter and Reddit said that they would not be forming an opinion on who was in the wrong until more information was learned. So that is where we are at with this story. So thank you all so much for watching and have a great day. No, of course I'm kidding, right? Of course, it's the internet. So of course a bunch of people came to the conclusion that this lady was a racist psychopath who was trying to steal his bike, and she targeted him because he's black. The story got so big and so out of hand that she was placed on leave from her hospital pending an investigation. Apparently, she has even already been doxxed and has received death threats. Some people have even said that she was lying about being pregnant, that she was just kind of making that up to get sympathy. So these are some big conclusions that people have already come to about her as a result of a minute-long video with next to no context. And as a result of these conclusions, her life has sort of been ruined by this. It was a real feel-good sort of moment for the internet after they banded together to shut down this horrible monster. Well, some new stuff just came out that sort of shakes up this story. So Sarah has released pictures of her receipt showing that she did in fact rent a bike on the day in question. And even more so, her receipt shows the bike number 5603915. And some people have compiled this photo of her receipt with a screenshot from the Bike Karen video, which points out that the bike the two of them were fighting over has on it the number 5603915. So it matches the bike number that is on her receipt. And the date of the receipt shows May 12th, which is the date that the video was taken. Now, the only weird thing is that the timestamp is blurred out of the receipt in the screenshot. Some people are saying that is fishy, but some people are saying that there are reasons for her lawyer to blur this out. I guess I really don't know why. Oh, and it came out that yes, she really is pregnant. She is 6 months pregnant, and she has even made the point that this whole situation has caused her a massive amount of stress, which is bad for pregnant women especially. So now people have been sort of reversing their claims and deleting their tweets and posts about Sarah, because the evidence is definitely suggesting, at least, that they were wrong about her, that she was actually in the right, that this was her bike that she rented. But the damage has already been done. Sarah will be recognized and remembered by this whole situation as an awful person. Now, I'm a big believer that mistakes aren't mistakes if you learn from them. Of course, I know that's easy for me to say because I'm not in Sarah's position where my life is sort of being ruined. But I think my point is that if there is anything to take from this messy situation, it is to not jump to conclusions about someone or a certain situation when the entirety of the situation has not been completely known at that point. In other words, context matters. I don't live in a big city, but I've been seeing comments about how bike rentals can charge you like up to $1,200 if you lose one of their bikes. And apparently bike thieves are common in big cities where they'll wait for you to unlock your bike from the rack and then they'll run off with it. In other words, her reaction to the situation, if that is what really happened here, was definitely understandable. Her actions were more than justified. I don't even think she really acted like much of a Karen in this video. I mean, she didn't really like have a complete meltdown, I guess. She really, at the end of the day, she just called for help a bunch of times and she told the guy to get off of her. And then she broke down crying, which is kind of understandable because the whole situation was extremely overwhelming, especially after a 12-hour shift. Mob mentality can be attractive in the moment, but it can have devastating consequences on people's lives when you don't have all of the information. And that's the thing, like as much as it looks like this story has now been wrapped up, am I gonna now say, hey, screw this guy, this guy that she was fighting with, he's awful. He was trying to steal her bike. He should be fired from his job. No, like as much as I think I know the whole story now, I don't. I don't have all of the facts in front of me. Maybe if this thing goes to court, and so she has a lawyer who is saying that she's going to sue for defamation. So like if this thing goes to court, hey, maybe it comes out that the receipt was, I don't know, fake or something. Like that's the point. I don't know. I can't come to a 100% confident conclusion about the situation right now with the information that we currently have. It is very common nowadays to jump to a conclusion about something that vindicates your own opinion, and it is very important to be careful about doing this. There is a high value in listening rather than speaking. Letting things play out rather than being vocal at the first chance you get. During this whole defamation trial, I'm sure more will be revealed from both parties, so we will have to wait and see how this plays out. If it turns out that Sarah really did rent that bike, I sincerely hope she can find peace and have her name cleared from the internet mob that has already, without question, acted as her judge, jury, and executioner.